Here's a crawl space with multiple layers of plastic. The plastic is not covering all of the ground, so it's causing moisture to form, and then that moisture migrates over, brings in the minerals, and then bacteria grows on that. And then it creates a ideal environment for slugs, moisture to pool. And here we got some slugs that have laid some eggs. Here we have rat or mouse carcass and other insects, as well as looks like we have mold growth eating off the dust that's on top of the ducts. Here the insulation is put in backwards. This paper should be on the other side. It causes moisture to be trapped up on the subfloor, which can cause mold to grow. If work is done in the crawl space, all of these cables should be properly hung. The crawl space has a good grade to this back left-hand side, and a drain could go anywhere along here. And looking at the flood line, it looks like sometime, maybe even numerous times, the water has risen in this crawl space. And here's a sign of where slugs have been going to and fro. Here is a supply duct which has extensive mold growth on it, and then the signs of insects that have been harvesting the mold. And then we have a boot that is unsealed, so the mold can go right into the home. There's even a little mold growth up on the subfloor. That's probably happening because this insulation is in backwards, allowing moisture to be trapped up on the subfloor. So these ducts should be cleaned of mold and the boots sealed. Now in this area of the crawl space, there is no insulation in the floor, and there is some mold growth on the exposed wood and on the air ducts. Piping debris, plumbing debris, again cables hanging down. Here I'm at the sewer discharge line, and all this black discoloration is typically here because of previous sewer leaks. Mold growth, bacteria, insects, they're all living here. Here's another area where you have extensive mold growth on the ducts that's being eaten by the insects. Guess we're grateful for that. And then some mold growth up on the subfloor. And again, areas where there's no insulation in the floor at all. This is a very tight area of the crawl space. Really very difficult to get in here and do any work. The work being removing the insulation, getting the mold off the wood, and either putting new insulation back in or preferably just running it up the walls. But this will take some time. Here we have old signs of water damage up on the subfloor and mold growth. Here's a plumbing discharge pipe. These are supply lines. There's the crawl space door. So I guess this is by the kitchen. This should all be cleaned up. All this dirt was displaced to put in the water tank. The water tank is not on a platform. It'll shorten its life, causing it to rust. And the dirt is really just in the way and creating a proper crawl space. A lot of debris. It's an old dryer vent line. Wires, plumbing that's not properly attached. Regarding a crawl space drain, this area is our most likely candidate for a drain coming out of the crawl space. And then this would be a good vent for your filtered fresh air ventilation. Here at the air handler, we see the condensation pump is not installed properly. It's not in a overflow pan. We see there's mold growth on the panels for the air handler. They have a 3-inch exhaust line, which is good. We need a combustion line added to that if you're going to do a closed crawl space. Bacteria growing underneath the unit because it's condensating on occasion. Gas line that's in the dirt so that it is rusting.
The typical crawl space in North Carolina has moisture, mold, insect, and radon issues. This short video clip will show you how we do mold remediation in crawl spaces and transform them to cool, dry, energy-efficient crawl spaces. Typical open vented crawl spaces in North Carolina have moisture, mold, insect, and radon issues. This is a concern because in the summer and winter air rises. This draws damp, moldy, smelly air from your crawl space into the living areas. One solution to this is a closed crawl space, which uses 100% ground coverage, subfloor or wall insulation, a drying mechanism or exhaust fan. A problem with plastic liners are the off-gassing of chemicals, micro-punctures created during installation, and the offensive urine odor caused by bacteria living underneath the liner. So which do you prefer, musty odors or chemical odors? Here at Indoor Environmental Systems, we prefer to use a foil foam insulation liner which covers the ground and the walls. This is the best for indoor air quality and energy efficiency, since there are no chemical odors, moisture, mold, insects, or radon, and it significantly reduces energy loss into the ground. The typical crawl space remediation consists of mold removal, installing an insulation liner on the ground and walls, using a drying method such as a crawl space supply vent, dehumidifier, or foundation vent exhaust fan. Mold removal depends on the extent of the contamination. Therefore, insulation may or may not be removed. Colonized mold is removed in preparation for a mold treatment. Clean Seal is a non-toxic, low-odor, quick-drying coating which prevents mold growth. It comes with a manufacturer's lifetime warranty that states no toxic microorganisms shall penetrate the treated surfaces, nor shall any such microorganisms or toxic gases emerge from beneath a treated surface. Crawl space drying mechanisms. They consist of 3, the crawl space supply vent, a dehumidifier, or an exhaust ventilation fan. Crawl space supply vents are a low cost and no maintenance option. Crawl space dehumidifiers provide dependable humidity control, yet require maintenance. The foundation vent exhaust fan is great because it stops this rising of pollutants from the crawl space into the living area. The exhaust fans or fan are placed in foundation vents and come with automatic temperature and humidity controls. Other considerations may be a crawl space drain or sump pump, diverting rainwater, as well as landscape modifications. A crawl space drain will release rainwater from below the liner and drain away water from plumbing breaks. A sump pump may be needed if flooding or rising water is a concern. Capturing rainwater and diverting it away from the home is helpful. A simple, low-maintenance option is to divert rainwater and termites by installing a metal and stone landscape border. It's beneficial to discharge water far away from your home and use a lawnmower safe pop-up. Indoor Environmental Systems provides code-approved R13 foundation wall insulated closed crawl spaces. Our crawl spaces are energy efficient and guaranteed to not condensate or grow mold. We have the best system for indoor air quality because of no mold, radon, volatile organic compounds, or insects, and it meets the North Carolina Building Code. Indoor Environmental Systems provides indoor air quality since 1992. We are the oldest mold remediation company in Raleigh, Cary, Durham, Chapel Hill. We have best practices, lifetime warranties, and award-winning Angie's List customer service. Because of our experience, knowledge, and integrity, we can see the big picture and recommend what's best for you. Thank you from the crew at Indoor Environmental Systems.